Ladies and gentlemen, the cat is safe. The cat is safe. It's safe. All right, guys. So it's obviously, as a content creator, I have to make a decision, right? I have to make a decision. So either I dive into this and give you a review guide later. So I decided to give you guys a review and then I'll dive into this. So just a heads up before I do any little intro stuff is that I'll do some type of guide on the first Guardian core raid, but I promise to do a review on this character because you probably want to know whether or not you want to summon for him at all. So this video promotes Cat Rescue, Meow Mix, and it's 100% MFO. Now today we're going to be talking about Misty, Ramge, and overall Ramge as a whole, as a character. We will be doing some pulls on this little banner. I think I wanted to just do 2. We're also going to go check out the shop because, you know, the shop is now a whole thing. I'm so disappointed in myself. I forgot to do my daily quest. Please, someone. That means I forgot to do my dailies. So I just missed out on 80 Z. So when people say like, you don't know, you don't get your daily, yeah, sometimes I miss them, bro. So I was sitting here talking in my Discord. Guys, go check out the Discord. I was literally distracted by Discord because we're talking about gacha game practices and, you know, what's the best way to do XYZ. That's why I forgot to do my daily. So if you guys are upset about my inability to summon on this banner, is because of my Discord. I take zero responsibility. Now let's go over to the journal and let's look at him on a base level, and that is Ramge OG. Hold on, let's turn it up because, you know, he probably has something to say.
I'm so sorry, but I can't stop here.
Well, whatever. All right, so Ramge is a Zebensteiner, so he is actually marketed or labeled in this game as a PvP unit. But most people would tell you that he's garbage or that he's not that useful. I think some people know what's up. So let's look at his stats here. I like to immediately go to attack speed. It's the first thing that I like to look for. 74. So we consider him to be middle of the road. He's pretty much not going to go first. He's in the second category. Could be made third depending on who's out there. I think even Garf is faster than him. I completely just lied to you. So his block is 50, critical hit 50, pretty low there. Dodge is 99, hit 99. We still, that's still a mystery to me in the community. But as far as that, like, I still don't really know how good hit and dodge are. Like, even when I click over to Baraka, the character we were just reviewing, he has 1 more hit. Like, what does that mean? Anyway, his attack is really crap because he's a support character. So his attack is not as high. And you can really look at that by his base attack being, as you can see here, 792. And then you click these more offensive characters, 1155, Baraka 1226, 1228. So it's not that he's one of these characters that are a support and does a lot of damage. Like Garf surprisingly does a lot of damage even though he's considered a tank. He's very aggressive. He's very, with that being said, it's like, what are you using this guy for? So let's go over to his little thing. First, let's check the age, you know, because a lot of people, I heard some people, what is that? What? Yo, that's a crazy glitch. That's a crazy. Hopefully it goes away. Hopefully it goes away. It does not. It doesn't go away. Yo, oh my god. So this guy is actually 19. So he's a nice young lad, and he's legal for you guys out there. I feel like I have to do this for every character now because so nobody ends up going into jail. It is literally just ingrained in when you go into the journal. Yeah, this guy can't catch a break. Does it go? Okay, it goes away when you go to here. All right, let's look at his auto attack. Cool. I actually really like that animation. It looks really, really cool. Now let's go with the passive, the base passive, before we get the whole line of Schmuck from the Dragon Blood. So he actually cleanses damage over time and debuff effects from allies and gains 1 mana. Now he also can gain an additional mana if the health of the target is 20% or less, and then Cleanse 3 is that it also happens if their HP is reasonably high. So pretty good. Now when it comes down to what this means is that the crappy part about it, I mean not crappy, damage over time cleansing is good because there's a lot of characters that actually do damage over time, whether they like it or not, especially in PvE. Now, most likely in PvP, most people are avoiding damage over time. They don't want to utilize it because it just has negative effects. Another video that I'm going to drop is about damage over time. That might not be today, might be tomorrow. I have a day off today, so there's likely that there will be more videos that come out today than there will be most other days. But debuff effects are pretty good. We'll go back after we're into this and we'll look at what debuff effects are in the game. Not that bad, but unfortunately, he does not cleanse status effects, which in this game is something different. They consider that to be something different. That's the provokes, the stuns, and all the other stuff. Those are considered different. So it kind of sucks. Or actually, easy way to describe debuff effects are anything that's not. The buffs are usually increase attack, blah 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 blah, and debuffs are decrease, blah 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 blah. So it's okay of a passive. It will help you out in certain situations, but again, mostly PvE, where you'll get damage over time and when you'll be debuffed. But the Dragon Blood characters, when we look at them as that regard, are mostly PvE units. They do well in PvP, but eventually, in my opinion, they are going to eventually be phased out of PvP. At least not all of them. You'll still see Rara, you'll still see Xeon, and maybe Anna, those three. But a lot of the other three, Maggie, Bailey, and now him, I don't think you'll really much see them. They'll probably just be exclusive to, and Baraka, sorry, I forgot Baraka. They'll probably be exclusive to just PvE scenarios. Now his first skill is going to be the Touch of Darkness. It's does decent damage for a 1 mana skill, and it inflicts Nullify Heal. Now Nullify Heal is not a debuff, it is not a status effect, they consider it a special. Spoken about this before, is that I hate when games do this. I love it when the game is basic. It's either a buff or it's a debuff. It's one of the two. So when you have things that are cleansed, it does a lot more. But now when you have to have things cleansed so many different things, it's weird. Now it doesn't really matter because in this scenario, this special debuff cannot be removed anyway, but it just makes it more complicated and makes it more difficult for you guys to understand, or most people to understand when they're trying to realize, oh, is that good? How often is that going to be cleansed? Stuff like that. Now it also has the self-harm, which is a passive synergy with one of the generals. The general just happens to be Frankie or Shufraken. You guys can call him what you want. Me and him are on a personal level, so I can call him Frankie. Maybe you can't. Self-harm afflicts target with self-harm. Wow. If target is afflicted with Fear of the Abyss, dealing 45% damage every turn for 5 turns. Now it is a little bit strange because I'm assuming when it says dealing 45% damage, I don't know if that's 45% of their max health. I don't know if it's 45% of this damage of this skill specifically, which would be hot garbage because he's not a offensive unit. But let's look at it in either or situation, right? Because most people don't have that combo, and I'm not gonna wait until someone can show it to me. So if it scales off of like a higher sense of damage, like their HP or something like that, obviously that's better. And if it scales off his damage, it's literally just going to be used as a form of, you know, Guardian Stone Breaking, which a lot of damage over time skills right now are just used for Guardian Stone Breaking, which is unfortunate. I don't think that they should just be used for that. I think that they can change it, and like I said, I'll go into that in a different video. Either or, it's still decent. It's a 5-turn damage tick, and in both scenarios it's good, outside of if it's PvP, especially if there are Dragon Bloods currently on the field. Also, I'd like to mention, before you screw over or say that damage over time is bad, it's only bad if there is a Dragon Blood character on the field that can use Wrath or utilize the Dragon Scale ability. If those characters are dead, damage over time is really still pretty good. It's gonna whittle a character away, and then Fear of the Abyss literally starts ticking every turn as long as you're at or below that threshold. So it's not that bad. It's just, obviously, unless you can snipe out their Dragon Blood unit, then you're gonna have a bad time. Now let's look at the skill, Touch of Darkness. I think the character's name is Sia, the cat. Someone told me the character's name is Sia, and I was like, I didn't know the name. I played the whole story, and I still didn't know the name. Now, next is the Black Panther's Dash. It's going to be an AoE version, pretty much of what we just said, and the Nullify Heal. Now, as Nullify Heal, I didn't speak on the other one. We'll speak about it right now. It's pretty much what it says. You can't heal that character, and doing it single target is better, so you would utilize the skill more often to not possibly target a Dragon Blood character, but to specifically make sure that a character cannot heal is a really good way to screw over Anna or any character that looks to heal that character. Remember, they can't cleanse the debuff, and they will not be able to heal. Now, to further insinuate that, or to boost that whole message, is that this one is AoE. So if you're really trying to keep all those characters low, then that will benefit you as well by doing the skill. But of course, you're gonna run into the fact that if there's Fear of the Abyss, if you're gonna put the self-harm damage onto them, then you are gonna run yourself a little bit of scared trouble. Now, we will go into Shufraken and realize that one of his skills actually scales off self-harm, and that's, I think, the only time you've ever seen that a skill works off a passive and then that passive also works off a skill. It's like very weird. I've never seen that before, because we'll look into it later. So let's just look at the Black Panther dash. Shia, not Sia, Shia. Boom, Black Panther, baby. Wakanda forever. All right, pretty cool. I thought the cat disappeared, but apparently the cat did not. So it actually, like, you see it triumphantly. So there we go. AoE, and the Nullify heal actually lasts longer. This one is 12 turns, and this one happens to be, oh fuck. All right, so this one happens to be longer turns. The damage tick is 45 in this one. Usually a single target damage over time is stronger. Meanwhile, this one is a little bit weaker, but it hit everybody in that regard. Now, just quickly to go over the synergy with that. So Shufraken is the one that puts the Fear of the Abyss. If you guys don't know Fear of the Abyss, pretty much anyone, when he's on the field, if they have less defense than him, they will get Fear of the Abyss. And then once their health gets ticked to 10% or less, they'll start taking damage on that row. That whole row will start taking that damage. So if I'm low and I'm chilling next to 2 other people, they're gonna get those ticks until pretty much until I die. So yes, if there's damage immunity, let's say if you trigger damage immunity, everyone else besides you that are not damage immune will start taking damage. It's pretty funny. It's pretty messed up. Cool. So he puts the Fear of the Abyss. Now Ramge's the one that puts the self-harm, as we said, but then Shufraken also has a synergistic move with it that he will also deal 150% additional damage for each self-harm stack the target has. And that's something I'll specifically have to test out myself, is because it says each self-harm stack. Now, when we looked at Ramge, I actually do not know, is that me using the S2 and then following up with the S3 and then there's 2? Because that's usually how damage over time works. In order to put stacks of them, you have to do 2 different moves in order to do it. So if I were to do Touch of Darkness and then do Touch of Darkness again, it would just reset the duration. So that's something that I specifically have to test myself. It would be interesting to see if Ramge does his S3, hits everybody in the back row, they all have Fear of the Darkness, because that's kind of what that was the assumption of it, right? The back row is the characters that have the least amount of defense. Then they would get afflicted by that, then Shufraken on his next turn would nuke them to oblivion. It would be essentially like a different version of, you know, the burst, but a little bit more setup, but probably additionally like a burst, because it deals additional 150% additional damage. So I can very well test that, and it almost makes me want to summon for the characters to show that to you guys, because I don't think anyone's shown it, because the 2 characters are not that well received. And I want to also briefly say that it's very possible for them to stack it because they're both dark characters. So if there are a bunch of allies that have died in the fight, they will be able to constantly cycle their mana. And as you can see here, his thing is 5. It's a little bit more expensive, but you'll see that his thing is 1 mana, so he can constantly keep using it, constantly keep nullifying heal. And this one is only 3. So if you look at it, depending on where he is, if he's in the same row as Shufraken, all he needs is 2 allies that have passed, and he would always be able to do this over and over and over again. And then if he keeps stacking it the way that I'm thinking it, then Shufraken will pretty much clean them up. It actually is not that bad of a combo on paper. If you have Shufraken, I think you might have a little bit more incentive to get this character, but that's also just possibly for PvP, because in PvE scenarios, there's not too much reasons when you're going to be able to run both of them and not take one of their slots out for a Dragon Blood character, but luckily he will be the Dragon Blood character. So you could run them both on the Dark Day and pretty much nullify the heals and do damage over times and stuff like that. So it would work out for you. If I have Bailey, do I need him? That's the question. Bailey doesn't have any synergies with another character. He pretty much comes out of the box, but Ramge does. So like I said, you have a more leniency, I think, if you do have the character. Now this is going to be the boy coming out with the tiger. It looks more like, what is it, like a cheetah kind of thing. I kind of like the design here. Hopefully no feet in the air. Nope, the feet are still so let's look at the skill preview. Let's look at any differences. Hopefully there are, obviously. Now it's a gold kind of flare to it, which is pretty cool. Let's look at this. Touch of light instead of darkness, I think.
I have to stop you.
Now it's like a white into like a gold burst. And then finally, let's look at the golden blaze.
If If you please.
If you please. What do you turn into? Okay. Pretty predictable, I'd say. Not actually, I would say slightly worse. The Panther, the Black Panther, did like a crazy like roar, like a roar of dominance at the end of it. Meanwhile, that this one just kind of like sits there like, what do I do? Now, to much people's complaint, only thing that get added to this version of Ramge, or how do you say his name? Is it Ramge or Ramge or Ramge something? But he just gets the Dragon Blood passive. You guys know what that is by now. If you don't, you're new to the game. Pretty much everyone in his row, because you can't have more than 4 in a row. Whoever's in his row is gonna get Dragon Blood. Sorry, actually they get the Great One. The Great One means that when you get attacked, you get a stack of Dragon Blood. You get a stack of Dragon Blood, awesome, nothing happens. But if you attack the character that has this ability called Dragon Scale, everyone that has Dragon Blood currently will get a shield. And you will take a counter, a Wrath counter, and the shield and the damage from the Wrath counter is based on the amount of Dragon Blood stacks currently. So it's really, really good for PvE, and it actually does well in PvP as well. Sometimes I gotta remember that not everyone is old. And I was watching an FG3000 video, and he was speaking on that a lot of people avoided this game for some reason. He didn't specify why, but some people might actually be new. You guys might actually be new, might not know what the heck this whole Dragon Emperor's Knight thing fiasco really is. Now, I do want to touch on his other version, because I like to, when I bring up these characters, I now bring up all of them. Yo, FC Rudley deserves a video, bro. I left him out. Now, it's funny that just like Baraka, he does have a Awakening version, which I do like this one a little bit better. First of all, the cat is more fluffy. It's a more fluffy cat. And it has the Revenge Axe, the Chain of Silence. Activates at the back row first if the enemy gains 22 mana. Silences back row enemies with the Fear of Abyss marked for 7 turns, removed by basic attacks, activated once in battle. Once again, the Awakening, this line here is way better for PvP. It's like dramatically better for PvP. When you guys are looking for like a version of these characters, Dragon Blood, the whole First Guardian, is meant for PvE specifically. They just do well in PvP. It's just a nice bonus. But if you want PvP, you go with this Awakening arc. So if he's on a string, I don't actually know if he's on a string, you definitely want that. Silencing the back row, this pretty much, doesn't that just nullify FC Annie? Doesn't it? Just, it's done. Most likely the fastest character in the back probably has low defense and is going to be affected by Fear of the Abyss and won't be too, like, it's way better. And then he also has the Here the Throne, and then that is going to give him, when the mark is triggered, it's going to give him attack speed and damage immunity. And his thing is that when an ally dies, he gets mana, is that what it says? Increases mana obtained in your turn by 1 per fallen ally. So it's like he gains, like, I'm assuming almost double. He's dark, but he's going to gain double. Can't test that at the moment, don't have this fake core. But doesn't that just sound better? It just sounds initially better than what the Dragon Blood one is. I'll showcase his skills just so you guys can see the very slight difference. Jesus Christ, because this is about Ramge as a whole. You know, it's not just this character. And I could honestly do a separate video on this, and you guys would be like, oh, and he's trying to get money. I mean, yeah, but you know, I just thought I'd wrap it all up. See, that's kind of the same. Still Touch of Darkness. Remember, Touch of Light versus Touch of Darkness. But the cat's more fluffy. In the comment section, what cat do you like the most out of the 3 skins? Now this one again, the White Lion Run or Ruin, is like a white. Look how much that's on there. That's a lot of fur. And watch at the end. Oh no, okay, was I imagining things then? I thought that maybe, is that just a okay, now I feel like I'm lying to you guys. This is just so I'm not insane. I could have swore he had like a triumphant roar at the end. Yeah, there we like a little something, a little razzle dazzle, just a little razzle dazzle that just makes it seem like a little cooler, slightly. Sorry. All right, back to the review. This is completely not important. I mean, that's pretty much the end of the review. But one thing that I do want to kind of add to my reviews, now that I'm more aware of gear sets and things of that nature, I want to start adding a possible gear set combination that I think that you guys would be able to benefit from if you happen to have this character. My favorite one so far is definitely going to be Red. Total damage reduction overall is really good for characters that need staying power. And since all of the gear sets currently are about being defensive. They don't seem to have offensive means to them. As long as keeping him alive, allowing him to constantly put the self-harm stacks and stuff like that, I think reducing damage as a whole is really good. Of course, block is going to be contended there, but his block, if I remember, was very low. You can say that, well, then you can bring his block up and then maybe he'll survive, but I think it's just better that acknowledge the damage he's going to take and let it rock. Now remember, you can go 2, 4, and then 6, so you do not have to fully go into fire. You could do a 2 set of fire and then a 3 set of this, and then you're kind of left off 1 because that's 5, and then you just kind of have that 1 off. That's kind of weird. And those are kind of the only ones that I can really see. Like, you see I have it highlighted light, but I'm not a big fan. Last but not least, I said I'd do at least 1 summon on the video, so here's my 1 summon. Good luck for you guys that are out there that still, you know what I'll do too to get the fate mileage. Good luck for you guys that are summoning for this character. Like I said, I think he's good. I don't think he's crap. I don't think he's anything like that. But actually that rhymed. But I will have to say that for most people he's not going to be worth it. If you have Shufraken, I think he's a little bit worth it, especially because I don't think there is a string. I can check really quickly before we get out of here. The Shufraken banner where he is has Baraka and Lepin as the awakening. It does not have Ramge. But I guess if you get this one, maybe you want to summon on this string and then get Shufraken, vice versa. I do still understand the arguments that people still don't like the whole aspect of summoning on the strings, and then you might get the character. Like, I can get Shufraken right now, but you know, the odds of that is pretty low. So 2 summons and we're out of here. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. Hope you guys enjoyed everything. What do you guys think about the character? All right, we ain't got that time. We're trying to save time right now. All right, everyone, just throw your hoods away. Just I already think I'm getting shafted, so. See, I spoke it into existence. I'm terrible. All right, one more for the boy. Corgi coming out, chilling for the people. But yeah, I'm not even gonna let you see Fergie. I don't even care. I don't care. This is about business, all right? They should respect that. Gucci. Try to speak it into existence. But you know, it is what it is. And then we get the faded. Please get out of my face. I could like spend money and go for the pity. I already have 10 summons, as you guys see. I would just need to make 9. I'll basically be able to. Yeah, I was listening. You saw that? I just need to be able to make 9 more. Right now, oh, now technically like 7 more. But I don't know. I'm still on the fence. You guys decide. If you guys want me to dig deep and pity for this character, 200 likes. I see that I get about 100 or so likes. So 200 likes, I will pity for this character. I will spend the money. I think it'd be too much money, but I'll spend it. We can get 200 likes on this video. Anywho, hope you guys enjoyed the video. I tried my best to explain what makes the character good. I don't try to shaft the characters on their review. I tried to showcase that these characters, a lot of the characters in the game are really good. They're just not like the top tier. Like, people will look at a top 5 list and say that the 6th one is shit. Whoever's number 6 is garbage just because he didn't make top 5. And I think that's like, not to say he's 6, I mean, he's like 8 or 9. But I hope you guys understand what I'm saying. Like these characters are really good. They just aren't crazy and they're, oh my god, and I'm a terrible human being. I know there's one person that's like, what about the fate mileage? I think if I click all, they actually summon them all. Okay, so it does. We got an Emma Duke.
Don't you see my hatred?
Really weird. She's like lifted up, like
hatred blazes.
I have a lot of hatred right now because you're not any of the characters that I wish that I got from that thing. Anywho, make sure you guys like, comment, subscribe, especially if you want to see the boy dig deep. And remember that every day at the casino is your lucky day, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.